Welcome back to Chuck Chews. Hopefully you don't hear the dishwasher running right here. But if you do, I'm sorry. Today we're going to make the Mexican bread of the dead. Because I believe it is the Day of the Dead is probably going to be one of the days I post this. If I can get it edited in time. But for this, it's a version of bread that is made for the November 2nd celebration known as Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead in Mexico. You could also mold the bread into different shapes like angels and animals. I'm going to do the simple version they call for here, which is basically a ball of dough with a little button knob on top of it. I've seen pretty fancy versions of this, and that's not me. For this, you will need a quarter cup of milk and a quarter cup of butter or margarine. Those are in here. You will need a quarter cup of warm water, 110 degrees or 45 Celsius, they say. 3 cups of all-purpose flour, right there. Quarter cup of white sugar, there. Anise. I'll probably have to bleep that. Anise. See, I just said it again. Oh, I am so bad. Okay. Packet of dry yeast. Half teaspoon of salt. 2 large eggs beaten. You want to get a beaten, Wheaton, as they said on Big Bang Theory. And it calls for 1 tablespoon of orange zest. I don't like orange zest, so it is not going on. It's not going in this. Then you make a glaze on top, which also takes the sugar. It takes orange juice, which I have in the refrigerator, more orange zest, which I will leave out, and more sugar. I don't know why it calls for sugar twice. So the first thing is heat the milk and butter in a saucepan over low heat until butter melts. Remove from heat and add the warm water mixture that should be around 110 degrees. Well, I have this back here kind of heating up. While it is doing that, I am going to jump ahead here and I'm going to start getting the dry ingredients done in this bowl. So let me scoop some things down here. As I have stated in other videos of mine, my kitchen is horribly set up to do any kind of filming. So bear with me. There is 1 cup of flour. And that's 1 of the 3 cups of flour it wants. It wants the quarter cup of white sugar. And I gotta find all my measuring cups down here. I guess I should have just had them all out here and ready to go. Hey, let's go with let's just get these out. They're all kind of bundled together. Look at there, quarter cup. Oh. I don't know who used it last, but it's dirty. All right. Close enough to a quarter cup. All right. And it wants the seeds next, which is 2 teaspoons. Of course, that's the tablespoon. Now I got to go find another set of measuring cups. I've never had anything with this in it before, so I have no clue what this is going to taste like. I would try to be brave and one, I think it called for 2, right? Yep, 2. I would be brave and just try to eat some of this raw, but sometimes, you know, whoops, seeds can kind of be nasty if eaten raw. Ah, we're done with those. Get them out of the way. All right. Now, what is next? Oh, what's the yeast in here too? That's funny. Usually it has you dissolve this. Usually it has you dissolve this into usually it has you dissolve that into some water before you put it in stuff. Warm water. This one doesn't. Half a teaspoon of salt. I don't want to dig out the half teaspoon measure, so I'm gonna pour what? Oh, that just leaked salt everywhere. Does it look like a half a teaspoon to you? That's to me. Back over there. Getting quite the buildup of things. All right. So that's all in the bowl. I know this is not the way you're supposed to, but I'm going to try to get it mixed up a little bit before we... That didn't do too bad, actually. All right. Butter is almost melted. Get this water nuked for about 10 seconds. I will actually test it here and make sure. Or give that about another 5 seconds. It's bumping around between 108 and 110. All right, that's too hot. That's up to like 120, but we'll let it sit there for a minute and cool down. And the butter and milk seems to be melted. Water's still a little on the warm side. You gotta cool it down. All right, so I'm supposed to add the water to it now, which is still way too hot. All right, got the water is now at about 111, 110 degrees there. Doesn't really say what to. Let's mix it in together. All right, So that mixture is all mixed together. Now, I guess this is the point where we put everything. I'm supposed to do this by hand. My elbow is still messed up, so I hopefully using this is okay, because I can't stand here and do the kneading because of my elbow is all jacked. Beat in the warm milk mixture and then add eggs and orange zest. Beat until well combined. And keep adding the flour until it's all ready to go. So, yes, we're up. Let's. Oh, even doing that hurt my elbow. I guess I need to get me a spatula here. I'm going to have to shove some things down into that. And now it says to add the eggs. Eggs have been added. Yeah. Whoop, went the wrong way. It's not wanting to. Not wanting to cooperate. Go ahead and grab another cup of flour and have it on standby here. I know this is boring, isn't it? It's just about combined. Well, there's 2 cups. Yeah. I'm the biggest fan of this stand mixer. KitchenAids are supposed to be the best in the world, but this one's kind of annoying. All right, there's my 3 cups of flour. Oh, come on. Yeah. There we go. I was trying trying to get the dough hook worked around to where it wasn't into the dough that much. It'll be easier to get it out of there. That looks pretty good. You'll see some floury flakes in there, but all right. I didn't think far enough ahead. That was probably a wonderful sound, wasn't it? I am going to take this dough out of here and set it over here. And it says to put it in a greased dish. I don't want to dirty another whole dish, so. Well, no open flames in here for a while. There. Is to put it in here. Plop. And cover with plastic wrap and let it rise until it doubles in size, 1 to 2 hours. So I'll put some plastic wrap over this. This is about the warmest place I have around here. So I'll just leave it sitting right here. And after it rises, I'll come back and show you what we got. Well, it's been a couple hours. The dough has rised. It has risen. I'm going to take that off carefully because I need to reuse it. Maybe. It just all crinkled up on itself. Here's what we got. You're now supposed to punch dough down and shape into a large round loaf with a round knob on top. Place dough on a baking sheet and loosely cover with plastic wrap and let it rise in a warm place until just about doubled in size, or about 1 hour. Okay, well, punch. And I'm going to grab this little nub right here at the top. I'll break this off. That's going to be my little ball on top. All right. That look good enough to everybody? Good enough to me. Right? That there. Grease all over my hands now. I opened the flour because I wasn't sure I was going to need to flour this up to keep it from sticking to me, but I sprayed that bowl down enough. It was not going to stick to anything. All right. Now, place dough on a baking sheet and loosely cover with plastic wrap. Let me attempt to wash all of this oil off my hands. I probably oversprayed that. Probably didn't need to go that. All right, the warmest place I have right now in the house is literally just about where it's sitting here. It's right here. You can't tell, but that is right over the dishwasher that just finished its cycle like 5 minutes ago. So let's let it sit right there, and we'll be back in another hour. See how this thing's going. It's been about another hour. I'm showing you the bad side of it. and let it rise some more. The the plastic wrap over the top wasn't loose enough apparently, and it kind of squished the ball down on top. But let's the oven is up to temp, up to 350. I think we're supposed to do this for 35 to 45 minutes, so I'll put it in for 35 and see what we get. Oh, it's really hard to do that with my right hand. Crud. We'll be back in about, well, I'll be back when it's done. After about 45 minutes, this is what we ended up with. Looks pretty good. It's got a nice hard crust to it. Top's a little darker because it was smaller. I didn't really have to figure out a way to check it. The only way I could figure out to check it to make sure it was done is like I went to the back side so it didn't look so bad, and I stuck a knife all the way into the center of it. It seemed to come out okay. Put a little, I don't know. I hope it's done. Let's just put it that way. But I'm gonna transfer it to a cooling rack, let it cool. I don't believe the directions say whether to It says brush it over the top of warm bread. Well, this is hot, so I'm gonna let it cool down a bit and then make the glaze and put it over it. We'll be back then for our next step in the process here. I got the bread. I transferred it over a cute little plate. It's close to a festive Mexican design as I can get, even though the Day of the Dead bread would probably be a lot more dark than that. So now we're making the glaze. You put a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of orange juice, and some orange zest in the small pan. Bring it to boil over a medium heat, which is what I have it on, and boil for 2 minutes and brush glaze over warm bread. Bread is still warm. And after that, you sprinkle it with 2 tablespoons of sugar, which I have already measured out over there. This is I already got the sugar's already dissolved in there. We're just waiting. I will be back when it's done. All right, the sugar, the OJ has been in here. It's boiled for 2 minutes. Now we're supposed to just brush it over this. This is the best brush I have. If I would stop splattering it everywhere. Oh, got to turn timer off. Oops, my bad. Somehow managing not to get this on my good shirt. Yes, I wore a good shirt. Yeah, take that back. Work it in here. There's some big crusties over here. I'm assuming this is going to kind of caramelize up and harden up a bit. Doesn't say whether to use all of it or not, but there's not that much left. Seems to be spots here that just won't soak in. Well, what everybody think? I think it's looking pretty good there. I think I'll stop at that point. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. And see what we got. Well, it's been a few hours. The bread has cooled down. It is stuck to this plate with the orange glaze. This looks like the best side. I need a camera back here so I can film the actual cutting of it. Oh, that is some in my bad arm and I can't. All right, I'm just going to cut a little. Dog's standing over there trying to figure out what that sound is. The other half is here, staying off camera. And she wants to try a piece of this. Oh, made it to the middle. Almost made it to the middle. Oh, this is really... Ooh, the glaze is down under it and it's still liquidy. Oh, I can tell it's going to be a dry bread already. You want the bigger piece, smaller piece? All right. That's what the inside looks like. I keep pointing the knife at people like I'm gonna. It is Halloween, so I can't just go stabbing at people. All right. What's your first thoughts, Laura?
Sorry, chewing. It's a little. It's a dense bread it has a nice texture, but it's a dense bread. The anise is not as strong as I thought it would be, so that's good.
It smelled strong when I was mixing it in the bowl.
Yeah. You could use some more orange.
Yeah, it actually is not as orangey as I thought it would be.
Well, you didn't use the zest.
No, I didn't do that because I don't like orange zest.
Sorry, you dropped a knife.
Well, this microphone doesn't pick up things from really far away, so you're probably okay. It actually is a really dry bread. I'll tell you what, it might have been good. Poke some holes in that and then pour that glaze over it and let it run down into the bread.
Soak in, yes.
But I made it like it said to make it for a traditional as in all recipes website bread would get. Yeah, a little dry. But
good.
It's pretty good, actually.
Butter is good on it.
Yeah. Might hit it with some Nutella later on. And I was also reading online, it said make French toast out of this the next day. And Laura was reading that you put a slice and put an egg over it.
A fried egg.
Yeah, fried egg, not just a raw egg. We're good. So we'll end the video on that. Till the next one.